quite a bit of money. We're negotiating that at the time. See if we can keep him here every year. So, Coach Robinson, if you come forward, we're proud of you, we're proud of these girls. This is a lot for a school and a community to have football and a basketball championship in the same year is awesome. The only thing that would be better is if we get one more in one of the spring sports. And it would also be, just something you might be interested in knowing. In a lot of gyms, you'll see championship banners. We don't have any in here. They're out in the hallway. And in a lot of gyms, you have region championships and those type of things, as well as state championships. I'm not sure any school still has as many banners as we do out in our hallway. Every one of those 59 of them, I think this is the 59th. I think there's 58 out there now. I think 59. Every one of them are state championships. So it's kind of neat. If you go out in the hallway, you'll see all of them. So great accomplishment for Coach Robinson and Coach Robinson.
Can I ask a favor of anybody to watch the girls play this year, if you'll stand up? Any game, anywhere, this year. Give yourselves a round of applause. If you want to watch the girls play. When the administrators ask me if I take a few minutes, I'd say that's kind of dangerous because they might get a story. At the first of the year, long time ago, there were a group of girls that wanted to play basketball. And nobody would let them play with them. The boys didn't want them to play. They went over to some of the girls in the other part of the community. They were playing at the rec center. They wouldn't let them play with them. So they decided that they would go to the church and just start playing by themselves. And they played all the time. And they went to the coach and they said, we want to play. And so they got together and talked about this coming year. Okay, gave them the dates for tryouts and so forth. And then they heard that there was a strange young lady who was moving into town and that maybe she could play too. So when she got here, they invited her to play with them also. She came from New Mexico. And this group of girls started their season out with a new coach, new coaching staff, wondering what in the world could this old guy teach us. Anyway, they worked hard. And every time you got together with them in a team huddle or in a practice to set some goals, the girls would say, yeah, that's great, coach, but we want to go to state. And the coach says, I understand you want to do that, girls, that's real good, but we've got a long ways to go. And every time we get together, the season went on, the girls would say, Coach, don't forget, we're going to go to state. Yeah. And he said he kind of like the way he talks sometimes. Yeah, we go to state, girls, that's good. So then, they went on and on, the season went on and on, and the people that watched the Flyers play very often could see that these girls were improving. Improving so much that some of the region teams, as we played the second round, started worrying. They started mumbling and grumbling about, you better be ready for the Flyers. But you know what? Nobody in the state, up north, gave us any kind of recognition. The booklet that came out for the state championships had 6, 7 teams mentioned and said, these are the teams that are favorite, these are the teams to watch out for. Not one thing about this. But you know what? I went and talked to girls about it and said, oh, so worried. It's all right. We're going to state. And then as we got there and we started talking about it after playing and beating Juan Diego, the girls said, Coach, we're winning state. And Coach said, yeah, that's good. Okay, but we got to turn down turnovers. We're shooting too many bad shots. We've got to play smarter. We've got a long ways to go. And the girls just kept working hard. And they kept working hard. Coach, we're going to state. We're going to win. And you know what? There's something magical that happens in a situation like that. When you tell a bunch of girls that they can't do something, and they believe they can, it's not good news to the people across town. Because you know what? This group of girls are Flyers. And they read and hear all the time about the traditions of Dixie High School. And they want to be a part of it. You want to have an idea of the conversation we had when they heard that Dixie had never won the Girls State Championship? Girls, odds are against you. You can't do it. No other girls team has been able to do do that? Coach. Just teach us. We'll try hard. We'll get there. Coach, we're going to win state. Just get us there. And we'll work hard. And we got to the tournament. And we had a little bit of a tough time. It was hard in the first half. The second half opened up a margin. We beat them by 20. The girls' confidence continued. Coach, it's fun. This arena is huge. It's fun. It's the Purple Palace. Imagine winning state in a Purple Palace. And they got excited about the second night. The problem is, the second night we were playing against Cedar. And Cedar were tied for number 1 in the region. We went in as 4th place in our region. And everybody's giving Cedar the odds. But you know what? Coach talked to him. And that night, he called in the captain and said, we need to set some guidelines of how to get rest tonight. We're going to pick up the cell phones. We're going to set a curfew time. And the girls are saying, Coach, that's good. We can do it. But 3 of the rooms are already in bed asleep. And on their own, they were going and doing what? Why? They had some goals. I did not have to pace the floor like I had in other years. The girls took care of it. The captain's help took care of it. By example and by reminding them what we were there for. Cedar game comes, and these girls play their heart out. I don't want these girls at one moment, ever, to hold anything against the tradition of Dixie High School, because our student body couldn't get there. They just said, you know what? If it was down there, if the weather's better, then be here, because we know the tradition. Let's just get it done. We can do it, we can get it done. So not one thing these girls are going to think, so forth, that the traditions of Dixie High and filling the arena wasn't there for them. But you know what? They still had their pride, and they had confidence after being part of it. So we went in there, and we came out with a victory against Cedar. We're in the championship game. They went in the locker room, and this old guy that they called Coach was in bawling his heart out. Sorry, guys. You don't realize how hard it is to get here. You don't realize how many teams you coach that are good enough to win. But you get fouls going against you, you get somebody in foul trouble, you can't hit the right free throw, something happens that you just can't quite get it done. To be in the championship game with these young ladies was something I'll never forget. Why? Because they still were not at all, and they kept telling each other and giving high fives saying, we're going to get it. We're going to beat them. And you know, a lot of times in coaching, the coach has to find some way to convince the girls, to convince the athletes that they believe in it. These young ladies are telling the coach, we'll get it done for you. We're going to do it. It's not a selling job the coach has. And I share this with you guys because I would like to suggest to you that things that you set out to do and the goals that you set in life, don't take no for an answer. Go get it. Go after it. Don't listen to those people who say you can't do it. The guys across town are bigger. They've won too many games. We believed in them, and we found a way to get it done. It didn't look there was 2.5 minutes to go, and we got down 4 points. But Aubrey, the sophomore, did 2 free throws. And you know what? There was no tension in her arm as she followed through. Defensively, it started with Liz Thompson with getting the steal. And she did what Coach is always telling her not to do. She reached around a dribbler and knocked the ball away. And we get the steal. And we come down, and with 2 timeouts, down to 10 seconds, we set up a play. And say, girls, we've got to screen for each other, and we've got to go to the basket. We only need 2 points to tie. We were down 2 points. But Liz Thompson drives the left-hand side of the court, from here right across there and turns under control and kicks out. And how many times I've asked Kelty to move and get to an open spot. Kelty follows her right to the open spot. And right here, with Coach standing right behind her. At that moment, I thought Coach Hartsky could be. But it was like. And I went back and they do a Hail Mary and it's too late, it doesn't count. But there's something I'd like to tell these young ladies. You know, there's no young lady in the history of Dixie High School that can claim to be a state champ in women's basketball. In the history